Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to once again another episode of the Big Brother Podcast with my good friend, Gocubs 711. Hey. Opa. Welcome back to the Big Brother Podcast, everyone. So we had a pretty unique week, I would say. So let's get started right out the gate, as we learned last time, as we spoiled for everyone last time. Paul won.
Evil warning.
Yeah, Paul won HOH last week, as he was rolling them balls back and forth. And I think nothing really big came out of that. That was Paulie, Corey, Natalie, and one other person that I can't think of. I think Zakia rolled the worst numbers, and they became have-nots. But that's not really important because Big Brother has completely forgot about have-nots.
Yeah.
You pay more attention to the episodes than I do. They really have not mentioned have-nots.
They have not done anything like related to people being have-nots
In a long time. It's so weird. They just completely forget about it. Because they're like, oh, have-nots boring. But I'm just like, well, it plays a huge factor into the game, though.
It kind of does.
Like, when they had that press release the before the season started, they were like, oh, yeah, we're getting rid of the have-not competitions because, you know, people are not into that. We want something with stakes. I was just like, have-nots have a lot at stake. You'll lose food for a week. You have to eat whatever fucking disgusting bullshit is slop, you know? And then you have to take cold showers and sleep in comfortable positions. Like, I don't get it. Whatever. Big Brother's so out of touch with its fan base. But, so we have so after the HOH competition, Paul is super stoked. We get to see his family and stuff, and in his HOH room when he goes up there, and we like
him without a beard.
Yeah, we saw Paul without a beard, which is incredibly handsome.
Put it back.
And I think he got a letter from his mom, I think.
Yeah.
And Zakia was saying, Zakia went into the diary room and was like, yeah, it made me think of my parents. It made me very emotional. And then she starts crying. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
They're all crying at some point. Yeah. So Paul wants to target Bridget this week. He makes that very clear. He wants to target Bridget this week. But Paulie has something else in mind. Prior to... I don't know if we talked about this last week, but prior to Frank's eviction, Paulie wanted to take... I'm sorry, Frank wanted Paulie to take Bridget under his wing. And that way, Bridget stays safe for as long as possible. And Paulie did just that. Paulie decided to take Bridget under his wing, and ultimately shifted the target to Devon.
Yeah.
And so he kept on saying, you know, Devon's a huge threat, you know, we might want to get her out. So Paul's like, alright, but for now, I just want to, I don't want to do that just yet right now. I want to nominate Bridget and then a pawn next to her. Maybe just to make Devon feel safe, if anything. So the entire episode on Sunday was really just dedicated to figuring out who the hell the pawn was going to be. And mixed in there was one of my favorite segments to this point, Take Me.
Take me. Take me. Take me.
That was amazing edit.
Corey and Nicole were just fucking talking about like adopting animals. It was like super cute. And then Corey's eyes started bugging out. And then he was imitating the dogs at the pound he was at. Take me. Take me. I think that is the best that Big Brother has ever edited anything ever.
I worked so hard to get a GIF out of that. I worked so hard to make sure I could have the zoom in all over and over again of Corey's face because I just thought that was hilarious. I like as much as you know, as people have a right not to like Corey, and I don't really love Corey either. But just the weirdest shit. He's so bland, but at the same time, he's such a character with his buggy eyes and like lack of personality. Is funny to me, but it's just that whole segment was really funny. But anyways, they go on, and Nicole's like, "All right, I'll volunteer as the pawn." And they're like, cool. And Nicole's like, fuck, in the DR because she's just like, I just volunteered to go up on the block. So then, instead of, just going up to Paul and saying that she doesn't want to be a pawn anymore, she goes to Corey first, is like, can you be the pawn? And Corey's like, no. Really? No. And so then Nicole decides, alright, I'll go up. And Paulie and Paul are up there canoodling. I mean, what? And
maybe
probably Nicole goes up there and she's just like, hey, I don't know if I feel comfortable being on the block. And Paul's just like, all right, fine. And then who the hell am I gonna put up? And Paul's just like, I'll do it. And I'm pretty sure Paul wanted to suck him off right there. Like, Paul got so happy. He was just like, PP pulls through, and he's not talking about their initials. So, Paulie and Paul. So Paulie ends up volunteering and goes up against Bridget. So that's their nominations right there. The problem is that Devon, she wasn't in the room when Paulie was decided to be the pawn instead of Nicole, so she starts getting kind of suspicious. Why is Paulie up there instead of Nicole? And so she has no idea what's happening ultimately. And then we dive into the veto segment of the week, which is we have Paulie and Bridget playing, and who's picked is Corey, Victor, and Natalie?
Yes, Natalie.
Natalie, yeah. So those 6 participate in the veto challenge. Gocubs, would you like to explain what the veto challenge is?
If you really want me to, I can.
You're a competition guy.
All right, so basically, this is a repeat from last season. They called it the second annual Ready, Set, Whoa. Even though the word whoa isn't used at any fucking point of the it's not. It doesn't sound edgy enough, Big Brother. Get better naming.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
So basically, they had to stand with their or bend down with their hands on 2 buttons, and then there would be a screen from them that would say ready, set, and then a bunch of words that rhyme with go, but not actually go. But once they saw go, they had to run forward and hit one of 6 buttons on, or 5 or 6 buttons. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Of a bunch of buttons on a hurdle thing, and whoever hit their button last was eliminated for that round. Also, if you false started, like if you ran before the screen said go, you would be eliminated immediately.
Yeah. And I believe Corey was the first one to go out because of that.
Because he false started.
He false started. He saw the word no and thought it was go, and he tripped up. It was kind of funny. So Corey ended up losing that. And then I believe the next one, they all, I think they sprinted out. I don't know.
Yeah, they all ran, but it was very clear. Well, it came down between Natalie and Bridget were the last 2.
Yeah, and Bridget
it was pretty close between them, but Bridget got out.
Yeah, Bridget got eliminated. So that removed her from the game. So then it was at this point where people probably started feeling a little bit more comfortable with who landed with the veto, except for maybe Natalie.
Yeah.
So then...
Well, Natalie got out in the next round anyway because it was 3 very athletic men.
Right. So Natalie got out, and it was the Battle of the Bros, which I feel like is just what's going to end up with the season.
Yeah.
So it's Victor, Paul, and Paulie. And then I believe they race again, and Paul falls behind, and he is out, and Paulie and Victor go, and the winner of the veto is Paulie. So,
Yep.
Paulie is able to take himself off the block and try to steer Paul in the direction of a new target. Meanwhile, Paul decides to play a prank on Michelle, and to try to put shaving cream in her coffee. I'm almost certain that's what it was.
Something weird like that. Some sort of shaving cream, lotion, whatever.
Yeah. So he puts shaving cream in the coffee, and Michelle goes to drink it, and then it obviously does not taste like whipped cream. So Michelle gets really, really angry, like really angry. By the way, these are other people's words, not mine. But my sister's boyfriend Anthony was in the room, and he heard her scream initially when she started drinking it, and he was just like, does she have the ability to hang herself?
Oh my god.
It's really fucked up. Anyways, sorry, I had to share that because at the time it was just so fucked up. But the Michelle, she got really, really angry, and she hit him, and then all of a sudden she ran and like threw an apple, I think, at him, and hit him in his lower back, and it left a bruise. Now, I believe if you hit someone and you leave a mark, you get in big trouble, but from production. And that's why Michelle started like breaking down, crying, because she didn't. One, she didn't want to be ejected, and two, she did actually want to hurt Paul. But she started just hysterical crying and doing that talk crying that she's been doing.
That's
Yeah, and she actually got called to the DR, and like I guess they yelled at her, and she was crying her eyes out, and she came back, and she was crying even more.
The crying makes a little more sense with the added that like she'd get in trouble.
Right, exactly. But
I didn't know that part, so I just thought she was being like.
Right, no, I mean she's dramatic in general, but
right.
Yeah, no, that's what happened. That it was the added to the fact that you might get in trouble, you could get ejected for hurting someone. So that was an issue for her, but she was fine. So that was a little added bonus in the Wednesday episode. So Devon then goes up to Paul and is like, okay, so what's the plan? And Paul's like, well, I'm going to put you up. And Devon's like, wait, what? And Paul's just like, yeah, well, I feel like you're going to be the calmest person to go up on the block. You are, I think everyone else would freak out if they went on the block. You are the calmest. And this way we just complete the plan for Bridget to go home. So Devon's like, alright, I guess. Like, she's not happy about it. So then Devon ends up getting put on the block. So she's like, alright, I guess I'll just be the pawn. So then we get to the Thursday episode, and Devon then talks to Paul again, and Devon's just like, actually, before that, was it the whole storyline about Zakiya? Like that was
was like the first half of Thursday's episode was Zakiya and Paulie drama.
That's right. It was. I forgot that it was not Thursday. It was Wednesday. So yeah. So backtracking a little bit, Paulie and Zakiya have been like fighting on and off all week, and it's been obnoxious to watch as a live feeder because it's really literally been back and forth. Like, they would fight, and then they would make up. They would fight, and then have sex. Like, it is bizarre.
Yeah.
What was the text I sent you earlier this week?
Alright, so this was the... Chris was trying to describe the situation to me without actually saying what happened, but he was doing a really shit job at it, so I just told him to rephrase it. And so his text was, fuck it, they did the Humpty Bumpty this morning. Which I've never gotten a better text from him.
Yeah, well, essentially, they've been just on and off all week. It's been really obnoxious, especially, I believe on Wednesday they had the halfway party because they're halfway through the season.
Uh,
Um, and Zakiya got really drunk, and like the earlier in the day, uh, like Paulie and her were like going at it. She was really upset by him. And then while she was drunk, she got into like this kind of like skimpy outfit, and like her ass was like hanging out of it,
oh boy,
and she was like grinding on him the entire time.
awesome.
It was just like, all right, well, clearly you're bouncing back and forth, and
Amazing.
I mean, there's a huge part of me that feels bad because I'm just like, this is really like I don't know how this keeps on happening. Like they keep on going back and forth. It's kind of like a weird relationship that's happening. But yeah. So anyway, so Polly and Paul are kind of getting sick of Zakiya, and then Zakiya went to Polly and was like, "Yeah, I think Paul is a huge threat. We have to get him out soon." And Polly goes to Paul with the information, and Paul's like, "Well, fuck. Maybe I should put up Zakiya instead of." No, he doesn't. He does not.
No.
But yeah, it's a lot of it was just the edit, but they know that the Zakiya is gonna have to be a future target probably.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the Thursday episode. Devon's now on the block, and then she goes up to Paul, and is just like, "I don't know. I'm not feeling too comfortable right now." And Paul's like, "It's fine. You'll be fine. I have the votes to save Bridget." And Devon's just like, why are we so afraid of Natalie or Nicole? Like, why is it so bad to not have them put up? And Paul kind of explains that again that they would freak out and stuff, but she's just like, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about that? And then he's like, well, this is the order of things, and this is the order. And Devon's like, well, where am I on the order? Like, Paul does such a bad job with lying in this game. We're trying to cover up shit. So anything that he really said during that whole conversation, there was no way that he was gonna get across. Like any gotta make Devon feel better about the situation. There's no way. So Devon basically goes to Zakiya. Michelle's like, all right, I have your 2 votes, but now I need to convince other people to vote for me. And so so Natalie comes into the bathroom, and Devon's just like, will you vote to keep me? And I was like, yeah. And Natalie and James kind of have a conversation about it. Then what happened yesterday too? Something about oh, that's right. So then James, Paulie, James, Paul, Nicole, and Corey, I believe, were in the safari room.
They were,
and they were talking about who to target during a double eviction, just in case there was a double eviction on Thursday. And Devon comes in the middle of the conversation, and Paul pops the question like, "Oh, hey, Devon," because they don't want like give her any ideas that she's gonna be out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Who do you have in mind for double eviction? Devon doesn't really know. She's just like, "Yeah, I haven't really thought about it." And James like says like, "Oh yeah, what about VNB?" As in Victor and Bridget,
who they were supposed to be getting out that week, according to Devon.
Right. So they all like kind of say in silence, and the Corey's like, "Who's B?" And Devon's like, "Yeah, who's B?" And like everyone like is like getting up on James a little bit, but like they're not getting aggressive. It's like really awkward during the whole time.
Yeah.
And James just like,
I honestly think that Corey forgot anyone in the house would be.
Right. Yeah. But so James just like, "Oh, I thought Bridget was going out this week," as if he was talking to himself.
Yeah.
It was so bad for James. And Devon's just like, that right there, someone's scheming. Someone is scheming. So Devon meets up with Natalie and James in the bedroom later on, and she's just like, listen, if you guys vote for me, we can force a tie at least. And if not, if you guys don't vote for me, I'm gonna be very, very upset. I'm gonna be very upset with you guys. And James was not really giving her a straight answer. He was just like, well, I don't want to go against the house, or like, he was saying, like, I do want to save you in the game and all that. And then Devon's just like, really, James?
Yeah.
And Devon's just like, well, look, if you don't vote for me, I'm going to be very, very upset, which Key maybe is a kind of saying, like, I'm now in the jury, or if I might go to jury, and if you make me upset, I might not vote for you at the end.
Yeah.
So James and Natalie, they are like, what do we do? Maybe it might be better to save Devon. And that's when we cut to a Paul family segment.
Which I skipped over.
Oh, you skipped over?
I skip over those just because I want to get to when I watch them after the fact, which is every Thursday episode.
Yeah.
Because of how my life happens.
You want to skip right to the action.
I just want to get past that. It's like, I don't need this filler bullshit.
Yeah. Paul, the only thing that was interesting was that Paul, which he actually talked about in the letter when he read it, but Paul's mom goes into his bedroom every morning when he's not there and says good morning, Paul, still, and like picks up the pillow and kisses the pillow as if Paul is there.
Oh,
which is very sweet, but many people online is just like, she's weird. I was just like, well, come on, we're all weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
you complain about a TV show that doesn't affect your life in any way.
we should get into that rant again. Oh my god. But yeah, so Devon and Bridget, they're sitting on the block, and they both gave pretty good speeches. Devon, she really, she kind of knew that she was going to be evicted, but she wanted to make sure that she seemed like she was in the dark. She was like, I mean, I know I'm the pawn up here, so please make sure I am still the pawn.
Yeah.
And don't vote my way. And by a vote of 6-2, Devon gets screwed.
Bye-bye.
Zakiya and Michelle were blindsided, I'm pretty sure, because they had no idea that Devon would go. Paul, I don't know about Paul, because I feel like he wasn't blindsided because he was told so many times about Devon being the one to go and stuff.
Right.
But at the same,
if the thing is that if James and Natalie were basically the Swains, and if they both voted for Devon, Paul could have saved Devon.
Right. So there is he really on the feeds was talking a lot about knowing that Devon was like probably going to end up going. So like I don't want to say that he was blindsided, but I do think that deep down he did still want Bridget to go over Devon. Maybe that's just me trying to look at the best at Paul, but he did, regardless of whether or not he actually knew Devon, like felt like Devon was gonna go. He did some good jury management during his exit, during the goodbye messages. He said that, I don't know why you're out there. Bridget was the plan to go. I'm sorry. I hope there's no hard feelings. I did not have any idea that this was going to happen. So he did some good jury management there. Will it maybe backfire on him if another juror there goes and they're like, oh yeah, Paul knew that you're going. So so who knows how that's going to work out for Paul. But it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward, because now the guys are the group of guys with like Paul, Paulie, Corey. I guess you could throw Nicole in there. Like they're really gaining control of this house.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens moving forward. What is the HOH competition? Gocubs.
So the HOH competition is one that happens a fuck ton. They hang from ropes and then they get hit by things on the ropes.
Yeah. It was
the ropes swing around in a circle.
It was
this one was hashtag based.
It was hashtag based. It was
kind of consumerism.
Yeah. It was basically Big Brother was trying to be in with the kids. The Big Brother was trying to kind of be like go into the bad part of the internet where everyone complains about or just shits on everything.
See, I would have been fine with that. I just would have accepted it, and then the internet trolls came out.
People love the internet trolls, actually.
They're just people that don't even fucking look like trolls, just dressed up all weird with paddles that say
You know what?
hashtag
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, because they had, like, gorilla masks that were, like... that had long hair.
And they don't even affect the, like, competition in any way. It's just, if you fall off, they're gonna beat you with the paddles.
Right, so, the stakes are risen.
Stakes have risen. No, you're just getting hit with a bunch of foam paddles.
And by the way, we should point out, regarding America's Care Package, Natalie did win the Have Not Passed, the Never Not Pass, on this past Sunday, and then this Sunday we're going to find out who wins the canceling of the 2 eviction votes. Chances are they've had all week to vote, and I'm sure people have gotten confused with, like, this past eviction that happened and then this upcoming eviction. So my assumption would be that probably Bridget will end up getting it. But that's just a prediction. I have no idea. Yeah. So we'll see what happens in that front. And so now, spoiler warning, we're going to announce who won the head of household here. And it was so much fun because they actually got to show it on the live feeds. And I actually got to work on Big Brother Access while doing it, so I got to live tweet that. So it was a whole lot of fun, and it was my favorite HOH comp to date because of that. So at the end of the day, Victor pulled it out, and he is the new HOH. So you'll see that competition on Sunday. I don't want to spoil anything else that happens during that competition. You will have to watch for yourself.
Oh boy! So
Victor wins. And we now can go ahead and jump into predictions. So go Cubs if you'd like to take the honors.
Alright, I will begin. Victor is going to nominate... My tab will open. Bridget and James. Natalie is going to win the power of veto, take James off the block. And that is, obviously, she's going to get picked to play. Take James off the block, and Corey's going to be put up in his place, and Corey's going to get evicted.
Very interesting.
I don't know why, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Victor's kind of a wild card. Yeah. So you never really know.
And then Nicole will win the next HOH.
There you go. For me, Victor will nominate Paulie and Corey. This is an optimistic part of me. Because I think that he's in with the guys. Paul wins the veto, uses it on Paulie. And then Nicole goes up, and I think that between Nicole and Corey, I think that for some reason people think that Corey is less of a threat than Nicole, and won't vote to evict him. I think Nicole will be the one to go home because she's been the schemer, the 2 of them. So that is our predictions. Oh, and Michelle will win the head of household.
All right, surprise prediction.
Okay.
That only I know about. That I also haven't thought of yet. Do you want to predict right now who is going to get the BB round trip if it's going to be gotten at all?
Oh, that's a good one.
We still only get 1 point, but
yeah. I don't know, man. I want to say if any of them get it. I'll go ahead and say Paulie.
Paulie? All right.
Because luck seemed to go his way.
If you're fine with this, I was gonna say that it's not gonna be played at all.
Oh. Well, yeah, because it's only 2 weeks left.
That's my prediction, but.
All right, fair enough. We'll keep it that way.
All right, are you fine with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll put in Paulie. That's all good.
All right. I mean, if you think that's not fair, I can pick someone.
It's up to you.
I'll pick someone.
Okay. You felt guilty after that.
Yeah, that's because there's only 2 weeks left for it to happen.
Yeah.
I'll say that Natalie gets it.
All right, Paulie and Natalie. So if one of them gets it, and you know what? Something tells me, and I'm hoping that this happens after it all happens. they may be like, all right, guys, so since it's not going to actually go through anymore, you guys can now check your envelopes and see if you actually had the round ticket or not.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then at that point, we could be like, if Natalie or Polly still had it, we could get the point or something like that. But that's only if they end up doing it.
Right.
Which I don't see why they wouldn't. It would be disappointing to not know who had it. So, yeah, that works out perfectly then. Alright, so I think that's it for this episode of Big Brother Podcast. In terms of anything that's happened in the live feeds thus far, Paul and Polly are the dominant duo right now, it seems. And if they can make it to the end, it'll be very interesting. They're obnoxious. They are loud and smug and cocky and all those douchey words. But there is a small part of me that actually likes the two. Paul more than Polly, but there is a small part of me that actually likes them, despite them being dicks all the time. That's about it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, not a lot of live feed highlights, but we'll see if there's anything crazy that happens this week. Any last recommendations, predictions, any last thoughts?
No, not really.
Alright, so that's good.
Go play the video game Okami.
Okami? What's that?
It's a video game where you play as the Japanese sun goddess Amaterasu, but you're a wolf. It's very like Zelda-like in how it's structured. It's a pretty game, and yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Any of you gamers out there, hopefully you are a gamer if you're subscribed to this channel. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and
stay beautiful.
Yeah, stay beautiful. You're lovely.
Wait, I gotta tell them something.
Alright, go ahead.
Go into your basement and find a cactus and a croquet mallet. It's waiting there for you.
And this is for what again?
What?
This is for what?
Just look in your basement. There's a cactus and a croquet mallet there.
Alright, you guys are on the mission. We'll talk about it next episode.
Tweet at Manic Maniac GG.
Alright, yeah, there you go. And Manic Maniac GG, and then just type I found it, so that way we know that you got it.
Okay.
So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.